Team, Mr. Keffer here. Thank you very much for joining me for this week's Teen Adult Senior Black Belt Track Karate class. Everyone show me your natural stance. Team, snap to attention. Curse bow. Relax stance. Put your hands behind your back. Close your eyes. Take a moment to set your intentions for this training session, what your goals are, what you want to accomplish. This week, team, we want to think about being a champion, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. Open your eyes. Back out to your natural stance. Team, snap to attention. Tap on your right leg, step out to your stance, go aya. All right, team, so we're going to warm up first is we're going to do our jab, cross, hook, hook. We're going to go jab, cross, hook, hook. Things that we want to keep in mind, team, is one hand on our cheek, one hand all the way out. Even on the hook punches, one hand is on our cheek. Ready, team? And go. It's going to be soup, 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 asa. And go. Soup, 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 asa. And go. Soup, 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 asa. Don't rush through this, team. We're not going for speed. We want to go for that focus. We want to make sure we have good power as we go through it. Fantastic bi-rotation. Ready? And go. It's going to be soup, 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 asa. Look at how your belt's moving back and forth. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 asa. And go. Soup, 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 asa. And switch. Other side. Aya. All right, hands are up. Starting with our jab, cross, hook, hook, and then reset. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 asa. Make sure you can feel that hand on your cheek when it comes back. Shouldn't be in the air. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 asa. Yo, 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 soup, 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 asa. Do the hook punches, team. Fist, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Have them all in the same plane. Not here at an angle, not down here. We want everything to be straight between the wrist and the elbow, and they're all in the same plane as the shoulder. Imagine you're punching right to the nose on each technique. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 asa. Go. Soup, 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 asa. And go. Soup, 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 asa. And switch. Aya. All right, team. So let's do some push-ups. Gonna work on that champion mindset. Okay. So 10 push-ups, all the way down, all the way back up. Make sure your arms are stretched all the way out. Ready, team? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back up on our feet. Back to our natural stance. Snap to attention, tap on the right leg, back to your stance, aya. This time, team, we're doing our kicking part of our combination. So we're gonna do a returning kick. 1, defensive kick. 2, advancing kick. 3. Keep in mind, hands should stay up when you're doing this. Don't let your hands drop around your waist. Make sure you have a good chamber in each kick. Ready? Hands are up. Ready? And go. It's gonna be soup, soup, aya. Oh, good. Last one's an advancing kick, not a returning kick. Ready? And go. It's going to be soup, soup, aya. And then step back, reset. So hands stay up next to your cheeks. As you're doing the returning kick, your front foot stays in place. We're not shuffling in to do a returning kick. Same with our defensive kick. We're not shuffling back for a defensive kick. Returning kick, my front foot stays where it is. Defensive kick, back foot stays where it is. Ready, team? And go. It's good. Soup, soup, aya. And step forward. Ready? And go. Soup, soup, aya. And go back to our starting point. Ready? And go. Soup, soup, aya. And go back. Ready, team? And go. It's going to be soup, soup, aya. And go back. And then switch, aya. All right. So other side. Back leg first. Left leg, returning kick. Right leg, defensive kick. Left leg, advancing front kick. Remember the 3 things we're keeping track of. Good chambers. Hands on our cheeks. And we're not moving our non-kicking leg. Let's absolutely have to. Ready? Hands are up. Ready? And go. So kick. 1, 2, and even on our advancing kick, my leg plants, kick, and go back. No extraneous motions. Come back. Remember, kicking with the bottom of the foot, not with the toes. Toes aren't extended out. We need to kick with the bottom of the foot. Pull your toes back. So imagine you're striking with the heel or the ball of the foot. Ready? And go. It's good. Soup. Soup. Aya. And come back. Ready? And go. Soup. Soup. Aya. And back. Ready? And go. It's going to be soup. Soup. Aya. And back. Ready? Go. Soup. Soup. Aya. And back. Ready? Go. Soup. Soup. Aya. And then back. Quick snap to attention. All right, team, now champion mindset. Doing the best you can. 10 more push-ups. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back on your feet. Forward a little bit. All right, team. Snap to attention. Tap on your right leg. Back to your guard stance. Let's combine all together. We're going to go jab, cross, hook, hook, returning kick, defensive kick, advancing kick. Ready? Hands are up. And go. It's going to be soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And back. Notice, team, when I'm practicing this, I'm not going jab, cross, kick, kick, kick. I'm not saying the words. I'm power breathing through it. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And back. Ready, team? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And then back. Ready, hands are up. And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, yeah. And then back. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Aya. Back. And then switch. Aya. All right, team. 7 moves. 4 punches. 3 kicks. We're doing it on the other side this time. Ready? Fix my belt for a second. Hands are up. Keep the elbows in. Don't let your elbows flare out as you're doing the techniques. Ready? And go. It's going to be soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And then back. Ready, team? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, aya. And then back. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And back. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, aya, aya. And back. Ready? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. And back. Ready, team? And go. Soup, 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 soup. Hey, hey, aya. Back to your natural stance. All right, team. Champion mindset time. 10 more push-ups. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back on your feet. Natural stance. Snap to attention, tap on your right leg, step back. Aye. Team arm back up a little bit. Now we're going to do, starting with our right side back, do the first 7 moves. After our advancing kick, we're on the other side. We're going to do the next 7 moves. Then we'll reset. Ready? Hands are up. I'll break it down together first. Then we'll pick up a little speed and more power as we go. Ready? And go. It's going to be jab, cross, hook, hook, front kick, defensive front kick, advancing front kick. Now we're on the other side, right hand first. Jab, cross, hook, hook. Returning front kick, defensive front kick, advancing front kick. Shuffle back to your starting point. Ready, team? A little more power, a little more speed this time. Ready? And go. Let's go. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, 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 shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey, hey. And shuffle back. Team, when you're doing this for the tournament or for judging, make sure you lock each of the techniques. It's not jab, cross as fast as you can. Jab, freeze for a second. Cross, freeze for a second. Hook. Demonstrate your excellence in each one of those techniques before moving on. Hands are up, team. Ready? All 14 moves. Go. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey, yeah. Other side. Go. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey, yeah. Shuffle back. All right, team. Last round. Ready? And go. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey, hey. Reset. Make sure you're in good guard before you jump to the next move. Shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey, ah. And then back to your natural stance. All right, team. Relax, take a moment, take a deep breath into your nose, out to your mouth. Things to keep in mind, team. Hands on your cheek. Good chamber on our kicks. Striking with the bottom of the foot. Team, as we're doing our hooks, elbow, fist, and shoulder are in alignment. Make sure you're in a good guard between your techniques. Strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands in my guard. Right? I'm not down here and throwing my hook kick from here. Boom. Reset. Before you do that kick, make sure your stance is awesome. Kick. 1, 2, 3. Set. Make sure everything's awesome. And then go to the other side. All right, team. Natural stance. All right, team. Let's everyone gather in. Let's take a moment to think about how people use their emotions differently. Specifically, today we're going to talk about Carly Simon and Bruce Springsteen. So they're both extremely talented performers. I think they have a lot of great skill sets. But think about this. Carly Simon was talking about how before a show, she would get such a pit in her stomach, she would barely be able to perform. The anxiety, the nervousness was so overwhelming, she felt like she just couldn't do it. It was overwhelming. Right? On the other hand, Bruce Springsteen was talking about when he performs, he got that same pit in his stomach, the same feelings, that nervousness, that anxiety. But guess what? For him, he recognized that pit in his stomach was a feeling that he was going to do a great show, a great performance. It was the excitement building up for that moment. Same sensation, same feeling. How they interpreted it was slightly different. The key takeaway is recognizing the emotion, but then what you do with it, with that emotion, that's what's really important. It was the same feeling for both of them, but how they translated was so different. So whether we're prepping for a tournament or any sort of presentation for like school or for work, or simply just stepping out of our comfort zone, it's important to recognize what we're feeling, but use it as fuel to push us forward, not as an excuse to hold us back. All right, team, everyone, let's go back to our natural stance. Our self-defense for this week is a 2-hand push from the front. The idea is someone's coming up there and they're probably a little angry and they're giving you a push. They're shoving you back. All right. So ideally, whenever we find we're in a situation where the aggression factor is getting higher, someone's getting angry, their voice is raising, we want to try and de-escalate the best we can. So a couple ways we can de-escalate. One is what they call the LEAPS method. We listen, we empathize, we ask questions, we paraphrase, and we summarize. So we try and listen to them what they're saying as they're going through it. But even if there's physical things we can do as well, right? So physical things we can do are we can get some distance between myself and the other person, right? If they're standing right here, and I'm standing right here. We're only a foot from each other. Easier for that aggression to escalate into a physical confrontation. If we can get some distance between ourselves, so instead of it being, within arm's reach, now it's going to take a little bit of effort. Maybe they have to step forward or two to get toward us, or maybe even run toward us. That's going to do a lot to de-escalate that from stopping it from becoming a physical confrontation. Okay. The other thing we can do is if we can't move away, we can look for an obstruction. If I can put a table or a car or a railing between myself and the person who's being aggressive with me, then the odds of that escalating, or at least escalating in a manner which I can't preemptively get out of there, is going to be diminished. Okay. The last one is I can get into a bladed posture. So there's nothing between me and them. There's no place for me to go. I'm kind of stuck here, and they're really within arm's reach for me. In that case, I'm going to put my hands up in a neutral position. So one of the things I see a lot of people will do when they're doing this is they get their arms up really high, like a Muay Thai fighter who's going up here and get their hands up really high. It's almost like a guard. The higher your hands are, the more aggressive you become. So we want our hands to be about shoulder height. We want to be relaxed. Our shoulders are out here relaxed. We are trying to calm down. We're trying to talk to them. And we're going to get blade our position. We're going to make ourselves a little bit more narrow here. And the reason a blade position is so good is because for them to get through us, they have to knock that first hand down. They have to put our hands up. It's easy for us to block and easier to cover ourselves. Easier to turtle down if we need to. If our hands are up here, if our hands are down here, my arms are crossed. I'm pretty much a sitting target. I want to make sure I have to give myself as much of an advantage as I can. So I'm going to blade my posture. I'm going to turn my hands up. And again, I'm trying to talk to them. And the first rule of talking to somebody in de-escalation is listening. Right? You have to listen to what they're saying. You can't just get out there and start arguing back with them. Give them a chance to talk. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to understand. Okay, and empathize with their position, because that can make a big difference. Now, keep in mind, you can't reason with the unreasonable. If someone is in a state where they're already aggressive, they're already agitated, and maybe they're intoxicated, maybe they're under the influence of drugs, they might not be someone you can reason with. In that case, trying to listen to them probably isn't going to help much for you, right? But if there's somebody like you bumped their car with a shopping cart, then and they're upset because of that. Certainly, you could de-escalate that by listening to them, empathizing with their situation. You can imagine how you'd feel if someone bumped into your car and scraped it with their shopping cart. How would you feel about that? Empathizing with somebody is probably one of the most effective ways of being able to de-escalate a situation that is not already aggressive and not already hostile. All right. So team, for our two-hand push, they're going to come up here in our blade position, our hands are up, they're going to push. They're going to try and get in there and just going to push right in the center of my chest. They're going to try and knock me back. Now, this could be, a lot of times when we're pushing somebody, we're pushing them back. This is to get some distance so I can wind up for that punch or the strike into it for a counter strike. So it's going to be push followed by a strike. It's actually one of the most common attacks out there. A right hook punch is probably the most common. A push followed by a right hook punch is probably the next most common. So what we're going to be doing here is as they're pushing in, we are going to do a real quick pluck. Their hands are coming in. We're just going to knock them down. Our hands are already up in our bladed position. We're just going to knock those hands down. Crane down, thumbs into your fingers, crane down, and pop down. So to make that easy, when you're doing your bladed posture, don't spread your hands out. Keep your fingers together. Be relaxed. All right. So they're going to push. Ooh, I'm going to pop down here. Now, team, if I'm standing right here and someone pushes me, my feet are side by side, they push me, I'm going to topple over. But the natural reaction when I start to topple over is I'm going to step back into almost a normal guard. So we're going to take advantage of that. So I'm in my blade posture, so I can already reinforce that. They're going to push. I'm going to plop down. And you notice I plop down, I slide back low with my front leg to let my body absorb that. I'm not trying to just be a brick here and let them hit me and not take anything. I'm popping back a little bit. And then from here, once I pop down, and just knock the hands down a little bit down the side, which goes in their head. Strike, strike. I'm a big fan of heel palm to the front of the face. All right. Of course, you can jab cross if you like, whatever you're working on in class this week with your instructor. Feel free to incorporate that in there. The main thing is we're going to try and redirect their energy as they're hitting us. So I'm here in my blade posture. They hit, boom, I knock the arms down. From here, I'm going to strike. I'm going to heel palm. In this case, I'm going to heel palm to the face. I'm going to turn their head sideways. I'm going to punch right behind the jawline. Boom. From here, I can throw a hook. And I'm going to cover out. Stop, stay back. All right, so let's try that again, team. So this is our self-defense for a two-hand push. And by the way, there are lots of different avenues for this defense. This is just one of them for a specific situation. You might find sometimes if someone's pushing you, easiest thing to do is just step outside and let them go past. Right? That might actually work extremely well for you if you have room and it's not that major of a threat. If you're in a hostile environment, there's many people around you, the person pushing you is probably trying to dominate the scene. You may have to control that scene a little bit more harder than if it's just like maybe Uncle Bob at Thanksgiving. All right, so we're in our bladed posture, hands are up. So trying to relax, I'm trying to talk him down, I'm trying to empathize with him, trying to understand what's going on, trying to reason with him if he's reasonable. Turns out he's not, he pushes, boom, I knock his hands down. Jab, cross, hook, hook, stop, stay back. All right, let's try that again, team. Okay, hands are up in a bladed posture. From here, I'm gonna turn my body sideways a little bit. They're gonna push. Knock the hands down, jab, cross, hook, hook, cover out, stop, stay back. Let's do that one more time, team. All right, back to our bladed posture, hands are up. And again, it's gonna pluck down, jab, cross, hook, hook, stop, stay back. And if we're doing this, team, I'm trying to pluck down, keeping the elbows in. I'm not trying to flare the elbows up. I'm not trying to get the elbows to go up, my hands to turn down. I really want my hands to drop, so trying to keep the elbows in. So again, I'm in my bladed posture here. Try and de-escalate the situation. Hey, I don't have any problems with it because my hands are a little bit lower. They're not a bit high. They're down the shoulder, a little lower, not threatening. Okay. One hand's a little forward, one hand's a little back. He does his attack. Boom, knock the arms down. Elbows stay in. Jab, cross, hook, hook, cover out, stop, stay back. All right. Team, let's go back out to our natural stance. For our senior black belts, let's go ahead and review guillotine deadlock. So remember, deadlock, it's got jab cross, it's got a guillotine, and it has a sleeper hold that we're all working on, trying to escape out of those. So let's start out from looking at it from our right leg back, our hands are up. They go throw their jab. I'm just gonna parry it down. Boom, roll, pluck, knock it down. They do the cross, I step to the outside. As I parry, my other hand, my back hand shoots up underneath that arm, wraps around their neck. I'm gonna turn to the side, create a T with my body, reach behind their back, grab my hand, crank it in. We're gonna try and do a sleeper on that. The defender, this is the other side of it. As that sleeper is coming in, they're putting pressure on the left side of my neck. As they put the less pressure on the left side of my neck, my right arm is gonna shoot up. I'm gonna take my right knee, I'm gonna bump their knee. I'm trying to get them to buckle down, trying to get them to bend their heads a little bit. As I do that, I'm gonna circle around, get them in a guillotine, I'm gonna try and trap their head. Now, back to my original side. As I'm going through this, they start giving me a guillotine. My arm's up here because I just did a sleeper. They're trying to trap me in the guillotine. They're pushing me down. I need to block. I'm going to push my hands right at their hips. So I'm going to try and avoid them locking that guillotine right against their side of their body. I'm going to lock that arm out. My top hand's like dead weight. Just throwing a couple knees here. 1, 2, 3. Once I loosen them up a little bit, I'm going to grab that hand. I'm going to step in, straighten out, duck underneath. And I'm ready to go again for my jab cross and just repeat on the other side. All right, team. So as you're going through deadlock, remember to do it on one side and then do it on the other. So whatever we do on the right side, you should also do on the left side so you're comfortable with both sides of it. All right, back to our natural stance. All right, team, we have our Action Karate Invitational Tournament coming up on October 21st. Super excited about that. For those of you who are going to be doing focus form, we're going to run through that presentation and that form for today, how we would do it in the tournament. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get all the way back here. I'm off the ring. Imagine I'm sitting down on the floor. The judges call my name. As soon as they call my name, I jump up, I snap to attention, I bow. I run forward to get in front of the judges. Get into my natural stance. I'll bow again. I got to my natural stance. I'm going to say, hello, judges. My name is Mr. Keffer. I go to Action Karate Whitehall. Judges, may I please begin? Judges are going to nod their head. They're going to say yes. How they're going to indicate that you can continue. Team, you're going to say, judges, thank you. Snap to attention. Bow. Look at how close I am to the camera right now, team. That's way too close to this combination. We're going to step all the way back. Again, we're hustling. We're moving. We have urgency in everything we're doing. Getting some distance back here. We're going to snap to attention. Bow. Go back to my natural stance. Go back to my guard stance. Aya. Showing that focus and intensity in your technique. Ready? And go. It's going to be soup, 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 soup. Aya. We do it on one side, then we do the other. Soup, 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 soup. Aya. Snap to attention. Now, and then go back to your starting spot. Once you leave the ring, always bow, and then have a seat back to where you started. All right, team, that is our tournament presentations for Focus Form. All right, team, thank you very much for joining me in today's class. Everyone show me your natural stance. Snap to attention. Curse bow. Relax stance, close your eyes just for a second. Think about what you accomplished today. Remember, it's always easier to stay home, to do nothing, to sit on the couch. But today you got up and you trained, pushed yourself. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Open your eyes. Everyone, have a great week. See you next week. Baby, see ya.